Putting me out, sir.
Hi.
You're putting
I'm putting
me
him out
out.
of my cab. I hope you get this. I hope you put a review. He didn't have the money to pay the right fare. Goodbye.
I have the money.
Get out.
Get out?
Get out.
I have the money, sir. Sir.
Let me call the police.
Sir.
No.
I'm going to show you my money. Sir, listen.
Get out.
I have plenty of money, sir.
Get out.
I just didn't know what you were trying to charge me.
I'm doing
I have
what I'm
plenty of
told to
money,
do.
sir.
Get out.
Sir, I have plenty of money.
Get out of my fucking car.
This is quick cab, right?
You goddamn right it is.
Quick cab, and you're putting me out because there was a discrepancy over the... I'm not bothering you.
Get my license plate number, faggot.
I'm a faggot? I'm a faggot? Okay. I'm a faggot? Once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Ken's TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Now, I know a lot of you all were looking at that intro and probably thinking, what in the world is going on, kids? What is the problem? I had a situation that occurred in the wee hours of the morning, roughly about 4:30 a.m. I was taking a taxi. Had been out, just enjoying myself, having a good time. Wanted to be responsible and didn't want to drive, so I called a taxi. They come and pick me up probably 10 minutes later. I get in the car, I speak, hey, how you doing? The gentleman speaks. He was being very, very standoffish, if you will. Perhaps he was looking at me and he was... I don't necessarily want to say just prejudging me, because after all, I did get in his taxi, but he just didn't have a whole lot of words. Fine. I didn't really have a whole lot of words either. He asked me where I was going. I told him I don't know the exact street. Well, I don't know the exact address, but I gave him a street that was like literally right across the street. I said, once we get there, I can show you exactly how to get there. You know how you're going somewhere and you don't really know the exact address, but you may know a street over. You may know the name of that street. So I'm like, yeah, the street that I'm going to is, and I proceeded to give him the name of the street. Every time that I've ever been in a taxi, I arrive and then they charge me, once I get to my destination. He says $25. No problem. Whip out $25, give it to him cash. And once I reached my destination, I was most likely gonna tip him. I'm a tipper, because I get tips, so I believe in giving tips. So we're riding. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe a 12 to 15 minute ride. And when we get to the street that I told him there was a street over, I said, all you got to do now is just go across the light. He was like, go across the light? You told me that you was going to this street. And I'm like, no, I didn't, sir. What I told you was I didn't know the actual name of the street that I was going to, but I know the street over. It's literally 2 minutes away. Not even 2 minutes. Well, I got to charge you another $5. Okay, that's not a problem if you have to charge me another $5, but why didn't you initially say that? Or why didn't you just wait until I got there and then you could have charged me whatever you wanted to charge me? See, evidently he must have thought that I wasn't going to pay, or he must have been somewhat hesitant. And I get it. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, driving a taxi or Uber or Lyft or something like that, ride sharing, it can be dangerous. So you have to be very, very, keep your head on a swivel. I totally get it. I'm talking calm. There's no issues. There's no, on my behalf. The guy proceeds to pull over and tells me to get out of his vehicle. get out of his car. But sir, I'm just going right across the light. Get out of my car. That's when I took my camera and I began to record. So the intro that you've seen was the conversation, if you will, that we were having prior to me getting out of his vehicle. I never threatened the man, never cussed at the man, never said anything to insinuate that I was gonna do anything to him. I was just trying to get some understanding. He tells me, once he realizes that he's being recorded, you see what he said? He didn't have enough money to pay his fare. I didn't have enough money to pay my fare. So I go in my pocket and I pull out some money. Sir, it's not about money. I have plenty of money to pay my fare. We're talking $5 here. It's not a big deal. I was just trying to get some sort of an understanding. First thing the guy says, I'm calling the police. As though I did something that warranted the police being called. You're calling the police. I quietly exit, or politely rather, exit his vehicle. And he proceeds to drive off. As he's driving off, he calls me a effing F word. A effing F word. Now, YouTube is very, very particular on what's said on here, so I'm sure you all can connect the dots. You effing F word? Wow, this is what you call me, sir? This is how you treat your customers? This is what you think of me? I haven't done anything to you. I paid you. Before I even got to my destination, I paid you. And I'm an effing F word? You know, situations like this can get really, really, really violent. And things can turn ugly just like that. On my end, on his end, perhaps on both of our ends. Pause, double pause, triple pause. Matter of fact, I don't even like the fact that I said that. So let's rewind that. It's my manual rewind that Hassan Campbell blatantly stole from me. Things could have gotten very, very ugly on our behalves. My behalf, his behalf. Just think if my mind wasn't solid, my mind wasn't right, and I allowed his words to turn to anger. See, he had to call me maybe about 10 years ago. Dude probably would have been whooped and left where he was standing. But do I really want to put myself back in that predicament? Do I really want to end up potentially back in the penitentiary? What's the old saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's a true saying. You see, I understand that this gentleman has some anger issues. Can't necessarily say he's a racist. Can't say that the tone in his voice and the way he was looking at me would suggest that probably so. But I can't definitively say that. I had a choice to make. Handle the situation the way that I handled it. Could have cursed him out. Could have knocked him out. Come on, Kens, that's an old man. Once you put yourself in that predicament, once you get to running your mouth, it is what it is. It don't matter if you're 70. It is what it is. Situation, one time I was locked up. One of the many times I was locked up. And I never will forget, it was an older gentleman. His name's Wallace. He would always talk crazy to one of the youngsters. The youngster's name was Phil. Phil would always talk about how he was dope on the basketball court. So, they would talk crazy, but it would be like friendly crazy, you know, nothing violent or trying to fight. Now Wallace walked with a cane. He literally had to have a cane to walk most days. Had like bad feet or whatever. So he's talking crazy to Phil one day. Phil's talking about he was the man on the basketball team or whatever, and he scored all of these points. He did this and he did that. So Phil was tired of Wallace talking to him like that one day, and he said, "You know what? Put your shoes on, old man. I want you." Everybody kind of looked. He was like, "Yeah, I want you on the court. Me and you one-on-one." Everybody fell out laughing. Come on, man. He's on the cane now. He always talking crazy. He always talking about my game ain't nothing. I want you. Get on the court right now. I want you. Like I said, everybody just fell out laughing. But the point that I'm making is when you put yourself in that situation to where you a tough guy or you know, you always talking about what you used to do or what you would do or whatever. It don't matter if you 80. To some people. You see, the penitentiary is full of individuals that perhaps made the wrong decision. Blatantly made the wrong decisions. Wish that they could go back and undo the situation. Unfortunately, in life, there are no... it's not a video game. You can't go back and erase and redo the things that have already been done. All of these things are going through my mind. All the loops, the laps, penitentiary got tracks. So come on, man, let's spin the block. Let's spin the loop. You just walk the loop. Talk about what you're going to do when you get out, if you have an opportunity to get out, or the things that you once did and the things that you miss about life. All of these things are playing out in my mind. Do I want to put myself back in that predicament? I know that I could go on and just dust this dude off, running his mouth. But it's going to be my word against his. He's going to lie. He's going to say that I threatened him and whatever else that he could think to say. And so I handled the situation the way that I handled it. Stayed respectful. Knowing that I had proof of how this gentleman just totally disrespected me. On the flip side, 4 o'clock in the morning. Dangerous job. People getting in and out of your vehicle. Quite sure he had some sort of protection. I'm quite sure that he had some sort of protection, and the tone in his voice and the anger that he exemplified has me baffled that whatever protection that I'm assuming that he had, he didn't pull it out. Let's just imagine that he did. Things could have been bad for me. I didn't have any protection. I'm a felon. I'm not allowed to carry protection. We're just going to leave that at that. By law, I'm not allowed to carry any protection. I'm not allowed to protect my family because I had some counterfeit charges. Everything that's going on in the world these days, people shooting up stores and gas stations and churches and all types of things going on. If you have a felony, you can't carry a firearm. Can't carry a knife that's over 3 inches. You just have to basically just sit there and just deal with it. But that's a different story for a different day. As I mentioned, things could have just gone bad either way, on either side. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm proud of myself for handling the situation the way that I handled it. I understand that life is different between the penitentiary and actually being out here on these streets. Two totally different worlds. You see, that man never would have talked to me like that locked up. Never. And if he did, as Big Hurt would say, he definitely would have got a wig split. No questions asked. But this is not the penitentiary. It's the real world. And reacting the way that perhaps you would react in the penitentiary will land you back in the penitentiary, if that makes any sense to you. I want you youngsters to really, really pay attention to this video. Think with your mind. Don't be impulsive. Don't be so quick to react. And then you're sitting in a jail cell facing 20 to life. All because of a couple words that somebody uttered. A couple slurs that someone called you. You know, Fleece Johnson, shout out to Fleece Johnson, Hustler Spirit, 502, Big Lee. Fleece often talks about how it was a major adjustment, especially when he first came home. Think about it, he did 40 years. I know you all watch the movies, you see the TV shows and the penitentiary. There's a certain image. But oftentimes, that's not really how prison is. Yeah, prison is very, very violent. But prison is also a very, very respectful place. You'll see some of the most well-mannered individuals in prison. Hey, excuse me. Hey, I didn't mean to bother you, man. Is there any way I can... That's the sort of dialogue, if you will, that you'll hear in prison. Don't get it misconstrued. The most polite dudes be gorillas, man. The most polite dudes be gorillas, man. They just have manners. Big Cozart. Told y'all about Big Cozart. We got into it on the track one day, man. Made me see stars, man. Hit me so hard, made me see stars. I was going to the room. I had that baby oil way before Diddy. But not in that form or fashion. I had baby oil. Heating up that hot water. Put it in that hot pot. The hot water in the hot water that's, you know, inside of the hot pot or whatever. I'm gonna throw it right in his face. Can't do nothing with him. He's 6'7", 260. An actual pro MMA fighter. Now, he hadn't made it big on the circuit yet, but he was actual pro. I look like fighting him. I tried. Y'all rock with me. It's hot out here. He could have stomped me all the way out. He let me live. And that hot water was going to be thrown right in his face. My cellie had 20 to life. Well, yeah, he had 20 to life plus an additional 20 years. He seen what was going on. What you doing, man? I told him what happened. Hey, give me this, man, for you have a life sentence the way that I have. That's not the way to go about doing things. It's choices, man. Choices that we all have in life. As I was speaking of, Fleece talks about how it was just so difficult because of the respect level that he had seen so many years in prison. Now you out here on the streets and people are just reckless. People's rude to you in traffic, flipping you off, honking the horn, riding all on your tail, pause, saying things crazy to you, looking at you all crazy. These things are no-goes in prison. So you have to learn to adjust and adapt. This man was incarcerated 40 years. You have to learn to adapt back into society and deal with things that normal people, the way that normal people rather deal with things. Can't just always put hands on people. I'm not a violent individual anyway. Yeah, I'll protect myself. I'm always protecting myself, but I'm not a violent individual whatsoever. It's definitely a struggle sometimes out here, man. And I feel like as of late, people really been trying me, and I don't even understand why. Like, I don't bother nobody. I don't understand why. But it seems like I just really been like getting tested, tried lately. And perhaps it is a test. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know that my desire, my will is strong enough to continue doing what I'm doing. Sometimes you have to turn the other cheek. Sometimes you have to handle things in a certain manner, a certain way. But I'm not gonna allow anybody to trick me back off the streets. I like my freedom. I like being able to go in the refrigerator anytime I want to, or jump in the car and go where I please. Take a shower, use the restroom without having to get permission. Or hug my girl and hug my mama and kids, and all of these things are swirling in my mind. And I feel as though I did the right thing. Seeing is believing. You all seen how the individual acted. If you find yourself in a situation as confrontation, try to diffuse the situation as much as you possibly can. Use that phone. Your phone is your best weapon in certain situations. Because for so many years, police was beating up, pulling guys such as myself over, beating us up, unaliving us, planting drugs and guns and stuff like that in the car. But we had nobody to tell. Nobody would listen. They're gonna believe the police over us. But now we have phones. We can record. And although that doesn't necessarily always work, it gives you a way better opportunity. So that when the lies start to, come out, be told, it's right there. Like I said, one of the first things that this weirdo said is, I'm calling the police. I done already paid you, sir. I've paid you already. So you gonna call the police and say what? He's gonna make up a lie. But he sees that he's being recorded, so you can't make up a lie. You can't say that I threatened you. You can't say that I hit you. You can't say that you're intimidated by me. Because I have it all on video. It's definitely going to be some actions taken. Don't really know exactly what I can do, but I'm going to definitely look into it. I'm gonna send that clip to the news channels. And if I can take legal matters or whatever, fine. If I can't, that's fine just as well. But it'll definitely be an effort, man. I want everybody to watch this video, share this video, and learn something from this video. Violence and anger, it's not always necessary. Oftentimes, it's not necessary. Make it home. Live to see another day. Live to see another day. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification anytime I bring you this action and this heat. Guess what? You're amongst the first to receive.